The new is unfamiliar, uncharted territory. It may be a friend or a foe, who's to say? And here lies the paradox. There is no way to know in advance. The only way to discover what it is to embrace it. And therein lies the hesitance, the trepidation, the fear. You see, the new does not arise from within you. It comes from beyond, from the vast unknown. It is not a continuation of you, but a disruption. Your entire past, your precious patterns of thought and belief, stand threatened. When the new knocks, it is a signal that the structure you've built around yourself is about to be shaken. If you let it in, you will never be the same. It will transform you. This is risky business. The new does not come with guarantees. The old, for all its monotony and misery, is at least familiar. You have lived with it, adjusted to it. But the new, it is an adventure into the unknown. It is the possibility of joy or calamity. And so you hesitate. You cling to the old even as it fails to deliver what it promises. The familiar is a trap, yet you find comfort in its predictability. But here's the truth, one we avoid facing. The old cannot satisfy you because it is already known. Once known, it becomes stale, repetitive, and dull. Life, however, is a river, not a stagnant pool. It demands flow, exploration, and discovery. And yet, when the new appears, you retreat, you resist. This is the dilemma of human existence. How then do we embrace the new? It requires courage, not ordinary courage, but a profound bravery to let go of the known and leap into the void. And the world, alas, is filled with those who choose safety over growth. This is why so many of us stop evolving. How can one grow when one is afraid? To grow is to venture beyond the boundaries of what you've known, to let the current of life carry you to shores unseen. But here's the rub. The new does not come from effort. You cannot manufacture it, for it is a gift from the great beyond. It arises from the depths of existence, unbidden and spontaneous. The mind, by contrast, is always old. It is a storehouse of memories, a repository of the past. The new, however, is ever fresh, ever alive. It is a whisper from the infinite, a call from the divine. To receive it, you must be open, receptive, vulnerable. You cannot approach it with the calculations of the mind. The mind seeks control, but life is not something to be controlled. It is something to be danced with. And when the new arrives, it will disturb you. It will unsettle your plans, disrupt your routines, and challenge your assumptions. But that is precisely its gift, for only through disruption can you grow. The new is not something you can summon. It comes to you. Your task is not to create it, but to allow it, to say yes when it arrives. And saying yes means surrendering your resistance, abandoning your fear, and welcoming the unknown. This is the essence of faith, not faith in a doctrine or a deity, but faith in life itself. The mind will call this madness. It will whisper of danger and urge you to cling to the old. But the old is a prison, and the new is the key. To embrace the new is to embrace life in its fullness, to let go of the past and step into the vast pulsating now. Remember this: every moment of newness is an invitation from the universe. To accept it is to become alive, truly alive. To reject it is to remain a shadow of yourself, a creature of habit, trapped in the illusion of safety. And so the question is not whether the new will come, it will again and again. The question is whether you will meet it with courage or cower in fear. Will you let it break you open, or will you cling to the illusion of permanence? To embrace the new is to let go of the ego, for the ego fears its dissolution. It clings to the past, to memory, to the known. But you are not your ego. You are the consciousness in which the ego arises. The ego is like a record of what has been, while you are the vast, open awareness in which the new can unfold. When you realize this, the fear of the new begins to dissolve. you see that you are not threatened by change, only the false sense of self is. And with this realization comes freedom. You become like a child, curious, playful, unburdened by the weight of what has been. Each moment becomes an adventure, an unfolding mystery. The new is life's way of inviting you into its dance. It is the divine whispering, "Come, play with me." Will you accept the invitation? Fear is nothing but the absence of love. Act with love and forget fear. When you love deeply, fear disappears. If you love deeply, you cannot find fear anywhere. Fear is the negation of love, the absence of it. This must be understood deeply, profoundly. Without this insight, the nature of fear will remain elusive. It is like darkness. Darkness does not exist, it only appears to. In reality, it is merely the absence of light. Light exists, extinguish it, and darkness takes its place. Darkness has no existence of its own. You cannot remove it no matter how hard you try. You cannot summon it, nor can you discard it. If you wish to deal with darkness, you must deal with light, because only what exists can be related to. Turn off the light and darkness appears. Turn it on and darkness vanishes. But you deal only with light. Fear is darkness. It is the absence of love. You cannot act directly on fear. And the more you struggle with it, the more it grows, for you are caught in its illusion. The problem becomes more complex. Fight with darkness, and you will exhaust yourself. Ultimately, the mind will conclude, darkness is too powerful. That is why I fail. But here lies the mistake. This logic is inverted. If you have struggled with darkness and cannot defeat it, it seems logical to believe it is stronger than you. Yet the opposite is true. Darkness is powerless precisely because it does not exist. How can you defeat what is not there? Do not wrestle with fear. Otherwise you will become entangled in deeper fear, a fear of fear itself. And that is the most dangerous of all. Fear at its root is already a void, and fear of fear is the void of a void. It leads to madness. Fear is nothing but the absence of love. Act with love and forget fear. When you love deeply, fear evaporates. If you love deeply, you will not find fear. Whenever you are in love, even for a moment, is there any fear? It has never been found in any true relationship where, even for a fleeting instant, two individuals are in deep harmony. In such a moment, fear is absent, just as darkness disappears when light is present. This is the secret. Love more. If you feel fear within, love more. Be courageous in love. Take the risk. Be adventurous in love. Love unconditionally. The more you love, the less fear remains. And when I speak of love, I mean love in all its dimensions, from the physical to the spiritual. Love deeply. If you love deeply in a physical relationship, much fear will leave the body. If your body trembles with fear, it is often rooted in repressed physical love. The body feels alien, uncomfortable, not at home. Love deeply. A profound sensual ecstasy can dissolve bodily fears. When I say this, I do not mean you will become bold, for boldness is merely fear turned inside out. When fear vanishes, there is neither cowardice nor boldness. Both are facets of the same fear. Look at the bold. Beneath their armor lies fear. Boldness is not fearlessness. It is fear wrapped in defenses. When fear disappears, you become truly fearless. And the fearless person neither creates fear in others, nor allows others to instill fear in them. Profound, sensual love brings the body into a state of ease and wholeness. The body heals deeply because it feels at home. Then comes the second dimension of love. Love for others, unconditional and expansive. If you place conditions on love, you will never truly love. Conditions become walls, barriers. Love is for your own growth, so why burden it with demands? Love for the sheer joy of loving. Love without asking for anything in return. The more you love, the more fearless you become. Most people love with conditions. Parents tell their children, behave and I will love you. Partners say, act this way and I will love you. Love becomes a bargain, and in the bargain, it is lost. Love is vast, infinite. You cannot confine it to narrow spaces of conditions and limitations. When love happens, it is like fresh air, boundless and invigorating. Yet when you try to capture it within closed walls, it stagnates. If you find fear within, love more. Be daring. Allow love to flow freely, without limits, without expectations. And as love deepens, fear recedes. And then comes the third dimension of love, prayer. Organized religion has taught people prayers, but in doing so, it has often blocked the spontaneous nature of true prayer. Prayer is not something you can be taught. It is a spontaneous outpouring of the heart.